evening. I'm your host, Samara Chinye of The View of the African American Show. Today I will be interviewing Ms. Rudo Williams, who is a registered nurse and also alumni of Texas Southern University. Please, without further ado, let's give her a warm welcome, Ms. Rudo Williams.
Woo!
Hi, Ms. Rudo. How are you doing today?
I'm fine. How are you?
That's great. I'm good as well.
Thanks for having me on your show.
I'm glad that you came to the show. Okay. So, when and where were you born?
I was born in San Francisco in the 70s.
Okay. And how did your family get to Texas?
Well, my father says that his family was from Virginia, so I'm not sure how they got here. I guess maybe they migrated. I'm not sure if I don't think it was. He said it wasn't slavery related, so I guess they just moved here for jobs.
Right. Okay. Where were they before that?
My dad's side of the family, I'm not sure. My mother's side of the family, they originally came from New York, and they migrated down to the southern states, and they ended up in Mississippi, and from Mississippi they came here to Texas.
Right. Okay. So what do you remember about your childhood?
Well, I was born on San Francisco military base, the Presidio. And my father worked in the hospital there, David Letterman Hospital. That's where I was born. Right. He was a medical technologist, and he enjoyed his job.
Okay, great. Did your parents discuss race or racism with you?
No, my parents really didn't discuss racism with me. I believe they didn't want me to I guess they wanted me to form my own opinions.
Right.
I mean, I would overhear them, discussing certain things, but they never sat down directly and told me, don't like this certain group of people, don't like that certain group of people. They allowed me to make up my own mind.
Okay. So what kind of interactions did you have with people not of your racial background?
Well, growing up in the military, my father retired, I believe I was 8 years old. So I got a chance to interact with all kinds of children. Okay. I interacted with everybody pretty much, black, white, people from South America. And then when we moved to San Francisco has a large Asian population, so I was around a lot of Asian people, and all people from all kinds of background, Russia, Ireland, everywhere.
What notable moment in American history sticks out most in your memory?
The most notable moment, probably, that I can remember, there's a lot. Probably the one that's probably we're still being affected by the aftershocks of it is 9/11.
Yeah, I was there too as well. Where were you?
9/11, I was working as a teacher in a private school, and I remember when the news was broadcasted that the Twin Towers had been bombed. And I remember my principal told us that the school was going to be shut down, and we had to call the parents to come pick the children up early. And we went home early. Wow. Yeah.
So how did you respond to that?
Well, I was actually in shock. I didn't really understand what was going on until, I got home. And we watched on the news, and we saw how the airplanes had collided into the Twin Towers. So.
How did people around you respond to it?
Everybody, it was kind of like a shock. Everyone just couldn't believe that, someone had actually hit America, because, we're supposed to be untouchable. Right. So it was a shock to everyone.
What advice would you give to young people today?
My advice to young people is to listen to your parents, listen to your elders, be respectful to your elders, and not to be so fast to follow the popular trends of today.
Okay. All right. So, what made you choose Texas Southern?
Well, growing up in California, I was just wanted to learn a little bit more about my culture, and I wanted to be around my family here in Texas. So that's why I chose Texas Southern, to be close to my family and to learn more about my culture.
Okay. And what did you study?
I studied biology with a minor in chemistry.
Okay, great. So, who did you identify as important teachers, role models, or significant figures you encountered?
Role models. I had quite a few role models at Texas Southern. I can't remember. Let's see. I'd say a good role model was Dr. Hunt. He was one of my chemistry teachers, and he always included, I guess, a discussion in morals before we started our lesson in chemistry. So he would discuss with us things that occurred in his everyday life, and he would give us advice about, ways to avoid some of the potholes that he encountered in his life. So he was a very good role model. And also the lady that I worked for, her name was Miss Simmons, and she was a good role model for me as well, and motivated me to continue on and graduate from Texas Southern. So those are two people that I can recall their names, but for the most part, most of my professors were excellent role models.
That's good. Okay, so how did it prepare you and for where you are now?
Texas Southern prepared me by giving me, I guess, a strong sense of perseverance, because, and not to be a quitter.
Right.
So Texas Southern prepared me for the real world, and showed me that reaching my goals isn't easy, but as long as you don't quit and you don't let obstacles stop you from getting to where you want to go, that you will get there eventually.
Alrighty. So, what memories stick out the most at Texas Southern?
The memories that stick out most, well, meeting my husband, of course. I met my husband at Texas Southern, and my good friends that were in my department. I still keep up with a few of my good friends to this day.
Oh, that's wonderful. Were there any significant moments in the U.S. history that you recall experiencing while you were at TSU?
The most memorable was the O.J. Simpson case.
Okay.
I believe I was in my third year of college at Texas Southern, and it was a popular topic. We discussed it every day, while the case was going on, and everyone was so excited when he won his case.
Describe the campus then compared to what it's like now.
The campus, I've seen a big improvement in Texas Southern's campus. I'm really excited that they've done away with some of the old dorms, and they've started building and have already built some new apartments for the students, that are more comfortable. And the campus itself really looks a whole lot better, so it's great to see that the campus has improved every year since I've graduated.
Do you think HBCUs are important? Why or why not?
I think HBCUs are very important for our children, because when we go to mainstream colleges, we seem to get lost. How can you say lost in the, I'm not sure. Yeah, lost in the rat race. So going to school at a HBCU allows us to be supported and to be supported by people that have similar backgrounds, and that allows for a better understanding of where we're coming from, and easier to get along, and I think it's more nurturing and a better, I guess, a more, I believe that the students are more likely to succeed at a HBCU than they are at a mainstream college. That's, in my opinion.
Okay. Well, Miss Rudo Williams, it was a pleasure to interview you. And thank you for coming to this show.